Well, hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great weekend and are ready to start this week's lesson. So, this week we're studying the story Welcome to Origami City. And some of you may know about origami that it's the paper folding that was created in Japan years and years and years ago. So, here's a little background on the story. Origami combines Japanese words oru, which means to fold, and kami, which is paper. Paper was first introduced into Japan between AD 500 and AD 700. Long, long time ago. Because paper was very expensive, paper folding was used only for special ceremonies. Beginning in the 17th century, paper was mass produced and origami became a popular art form. Although ancient origami allowed cuts, modern experts often follow a strict rule. They create an artwork from a single piece of paper, usually square, without using any cuts or glue. And so that's kind of an interesting thing about origami is that it's a lot of folding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you the story. And after I get through reading the story, I'm going to have another video that's a slide presentation that will go through some of the things that you're going to need to fill out for your work this week. As I'm reading the story, your vocabulary words are going to be in there, and I'm going to have them highlighted in yellow, as you'll see here. And I'm also highlighting the context clue that helps you understand what it means. I've also written in the margin over here the definition. So as we're going along, if you want to make some notes, it'll help you in the long run. This right here is the way this word is pronounced. So when I get to it, I can show you right here, Miura is the way this word is pronounced. So the story is Welcome to Origami City. You might say that the future looks good on paper. By updating the ancient art of origami, which is paper folding, engineer Glaucio Pilano has invented a remarkable new construction system that promises to revolutionize the way tomorrow's cities are built. More correctly, or build themselves. Oops, I kind of read that wrong. It's or more correctly build themselves. So here's your word updating. And this is a context clue to help you understand what updating means. It means to make more modern or a new construction. Okay? So the zipper tube, here's your subheading, the zipper tube. Origami is already used in many areas of science and engineering, Polino notes. He's a professor of engineering at the Georgia Institute of Technology. Thanks to origami-inspired science, tomorrow's surgical devices will require smaller cuts. They'll unfold once they're inside the body. NASA researchers are working on a special kind of origami called Miura folding. Huge folding solar cells will bloom open in space like giant flowers. Polino's take on scientific origami is the zipper tube. It's a long, thin, zigzag shape that folds down flat or opens up like an accordion. A single tube is stiffer than a plain paper strip, Polino says, demonstrating on a small model. By interlocking several tubes at different angles, they become even harder to bend or twist, yet the resulting super strong assembly folds instantly for transport. So that's going to make it easy for construction. For city building, zipper tubes are a new kind of brick. Architects and engineers can use them to design and assemble all kinds of structures. As a result, tomorrow's cities could be erected, and I'm going to skip this part right here and come back to it in a minute, more rapidly and more efficiently. Conventional buildings are assembled for many small separate pieces. So, conventional is also one of your words. Conventional means like prefabricated. To fabricate means to make something. So to prefabricate means to make it ahead. So it's made from pieces and it's brought in. So here's your context clue that goes along with conventional. Assembled from many small separate pieces. So remember that. That's your context clue. Conventional buildings are assembled from many small separate pieces, Polino notes. But a zipper tube building might arrive at a building site in just a few large pieces. Construction would be fast. Just reverse the folding action and the building pops into shape. Wouldn't that be amazing to be somewhere and just bring this piece of building in and just pop it open and it just all of a sudden makes a building? Speedy assembly can make zipper tubes ideal in an emergency. Imagine a hospital has been destroyed by a storm or terrorism, Polino says. We could bring in a new building completely folded and deploy it quickly at the site. Or, in happier circumstances, consider a future Olympic village made from zipper tubes. Just deploy the buildings in the host city and then fold them up to use again somewhere else in the world. Wow, that would be amazing. Okay, a different kind of city. Zipper tubes could change the very way we think about constructing a city. Buildings could become bigger or smaller as needed. Just fold them in or out. And while conventional buildings are stationary once completed, tomorrow's structures might remain in motion. If we covered a building with a skin made from zipper tubes, Polino says, we could change the building's shape at will. If the skin were made from solar panels, we could just adjust them throughout the day to follow the sun. Or the change could be artistic to alter the building's appearance. Oh, that might be cool. Have a building that just changes a little bit in different ways. So here we go. Polino's team began their work by making small models using a special cutter, similar to a printer, which converts the researcher's computer program into folds and cuts in heavy paper. But the zipper tube concept is fully scalable, meaning the tubes can be very big or very small. Polino says a large structure might be built from wood or plastics hinged at the joints between the panels to provide the necessary movements. The team's first full-scale building project, a pedestrian bridge, is under development in 2016. So this is now the year 2020. I wonder how that bridge has come along. So be sure, maybe Google it and see if you can find any information about that. See if it has already been complete or if it's still under construction. Will the buildings in tomorrow's cities unfold like an enormous pop-up greeting card that we can all live in and walk through? Might each futuristic building be prefabricated, portable, and resizable too? To find out, we'll have to watch how this new science unfolds. And so here's another one of your vocabulary words, futuristic. It means modern technology or design. So here's you some context clues that help you understand what futuristic means. Building in tomorrow's cities, new science. Those are some ways to help you understand. So that's our story about Origami City. Now here's a chart that is on your story, and it says, get ready to fold. So here are some different techniques on folding. It says start with 6 or more sheets of square paper. For each sheet, you're going to fold it diagonally, making a triangle, and then you're going to keep folding it to make smaller triangles. Do it about 4 times, and then you'll have this look. Then you open the sheet out flat. Each sheet will have 8 triangles or panels, all connected by folding hinges. And these are your folding hinges right there. It says fold and overlap the different panels to create different 3-dimensional shapes. Consider the shapes shown here to any look like buildings. I think maybe in Australia there's a big building that looks like this in their capital city. I think of Sydney, Australia. I think it's where it is. So maybe you've seen something like this. So think about the scale, for example. For a curbside bus shelter, each panel in your building system might be just a few feet across. From a train station, each shape might be much larger, and there might be many more of them. Get even more creative. Which of your buildings can morph into other shapes? Like, can you join several of the folded sheets together to build more elaborate structures? Try designing whole city on a table. Then add little people and other details to enhance your model. So this will be something, if you just have a little spare time and you want to do something fun, you can take a sheet of paper, make sure it's square, like make sure it's like 8 by 8 all the way around, 8 inches on each side or 6 inches on each side, whichever one you want to do, but make sure it's a square piece of paper, and then start folding it and come up with some of these shapes. So that might be a fun little art project for you to do along with this story, The Origami City. So I hope you've enjoyed the story, and look for the video on the slides that have questions for you to answer. Also, your vocabulary words are on there. Remember, the words are futuristic, which means what? Modern technology or design. You have conventional, which means what? Prefabricated, made from pieces brought in together. And the other vocabulary word was updating, which means to make more modern. So, hope you enjoyed the story. Have a great day. Bye.